Hi, we're back today with Cream City Ribbon President Lorette Russenberger. Let's talk about ribbon and the environment. What do you think people should be aware of when making a choice of ribbon?
Well, I think, the most important thing that people don't necessarily think about is that most ribbon on the market is essentially made of plastic. I don't know the specific percentages, but I would guess it's 80 to 90%. That includes the so-called curling ribbon, which most people are familiar with and which is one of the most commonly used ribbons on the market. Then, of course, there's raffia. People think of raffia as being a natural product, and it's true that a small percentage of it is, but there's a lot of also raffia on the market that's called raffia, looks kind of like raffia, but is actually a plastic again. Then there's some so-called eco ribbons on the market. Those are recycled material, which is great as far as it goes, but once again, it is recycled plastic. That's what's recycled. There's also acetate, which is billed as a natural fiber. It is a chemically altered wood fiber, but it also takes a very long time to degrade in the environment. So unless you're selecting a silk ribbon or a Cream City ribbon, you're essentially choosing a plastic that's composed of petroleum byproduct, which has probably traveled thousands of miles by train, truck, boat, which is also powered by oil.
Well, that's very interesting. Well, why really is this important? It's just little pieces of ribbon and bows, after all. How harmful can that be?
Well, you're right. It doesn't sound like much until you think about just how much ribbon is probably out there, thrown away incorrectly, and being swallowed by seabirds and animals and what have you. And because of its small size, it's something easy for animals to ingest. Animals and birds, in fact, actually can starve to death because their stomachs become filled with pieces of plastic that they eat, thinking it's food. Those things never pass through their bodies, and eventually there's no room for nutritional food, so they die.
That doesn't sound too appealing at all. How does Cream City Ribbon provide a solution?
Cream City Ribbon is a beautiful way for people to make a choice to be more natural. It has no petroleum content, and because it's made in the Midwest, it takes less oil and gas to get it to consumers. It's non-toxic to animals, to pets, and even to children. You can dispose of it guilt-free in your garbage because it'll break down readily. But we also like to recommend that people reuse it first in their gardens instead of plastic ties, because then they can compost it at the end of the season. Scrapbookers and crafters love it because it's acid and lignin-free, so it won't run or fade in books. In fact, the whole philosophy of our company is to be as green as possible and to do it right here in the United States. We really think that Cream City Ribbon is the natural choice.
Sounds like Cream City Ribbon is green in every color.
That's what we say.